Hello everybody and welcome to this introductional video for a new double-strung mini harp on the market. This is it, and in the first part of this video you have heard a little snippet out of my piece Kairos #1 that I have written a couple of years ago for the double-strung, and so you could already hear the sound of this new instrument. So, as we all know, double-strung harps have some advantages. One is that you can do things on a double-strung that you cannot do on a single-course harp, which is like playing both hands in the same octave using the same notes. But of course, you also can play pieces from your usual repertoire for single-course harps on a very small harp, because you have 2 rows of strings and your hands don't interfere with each other when you bring the octaves together. And this was basically the idea that the harp maker Alexander Tremer, a German harp maker, followed when he decided he wanted to construct a harp which is suitable for people who have needs like they want to take a harp with them in the plane as hand luggage, but they still want to have an instrument with which they can play a lot of pieces. So they need a small size, but as many strings as possible. Then this harp is very lightweight. And this also makes it suitable for people who want to go out for walks and take a harp with them without having too much weight on their shoulders. Or for people that like bicycling and they want to take with them a harp. It's not hard to guess that sometimes this causes problems, because most harps are too big to be transported on a bicycle. This one can be put into a bicycle bag. And how does this work? I mean, you see, it still is it seems to be quite big, but you can disassemble the body from the frame, because the body is fixed to the frame using magnets. It's a magnetic harp, okay? And then you can put this frame with the strings together with the sound box, which comes with a bag to avoid scratching the surface, okay? And you can put it all in a bag which is big enough to take this instrument. I have a bag like, let me show you, like this. I don't know if this is available in other countries than in Germany. This is from a German company, but I'm sure that you will find a suitable bag for this instrument everywhere and on the world, or you could sew one yourself. Okay, so then I reassemble the whole harp again. Let me show you how I do this. So I take it in both of my hands, and first I attach it to the lower magnet, and then I'm going sideways, and then I'm ready to play. Okay, so the harp has around 19.6 inches of height. Here it's about 13 inches. This is about 13 inches. And here we have about 1.2 inches. The weight is around 3.5 pounds, which is very lightweight. The string tension is pretty high, so the harp demands that you really play it and not only slightly touch it. So I think this is good for people who are used to play with a harp that has quite a usual string tension. And usually smaller harps have a very low tension, and you have to be very careful while plucking to avoid the strings sounding bad. Not so with this harp, you can pluck as usual. You have from this C, which is the middle C on usual harps, this is the lowest C on this harp, you have 3 octaves going up to the highest C, and as you can tell, even the highest note still sounds like a real note and not just like a noise. Okay, so what is this harp good for? There are several opportunities where you can use it. You can use it when you want to fly by plane and you want to take your harp with you in hand luggage because it's small enough and light enough. If you travel with a camper and you don't have enough space to take a bigger harp, then this harp is perfect because of the possibility to disassemble the body, and it fits everywhere. I take this harp with me in a canoe. So you also could put it into a waterproof canoe bag and enjoy playing a bit of harp music out in nature. And the same as when you go for a walk, you can take this harp easily with you without having too much weight on your shoulders if you use a bag like this with backpack straps. Bicycle, also possible. This one fits into my bicycle bags. I think this is pretty cool. I cannot really close it, the bag on the top, so I have to put the harp into a plastic bag to avoid it getting wet when there's some rain. But all in all, I can take it with me on the harp, on the bicycle. So, what can we do with this harp and what can we not do? As you can see, there are no levers. And this is due to the fact that there simply is not enough space for levers here. So we can tune the harp to any key that we want to tune it to. This is not a problem. You can tune the harp to any key you want to tune it to. But we cannot change keys while playing or quickly. If we want to change the key we are playing in, we have to retune the whole harp. This is a fact. Nothing can be done about that, okay? So what I'm doing is I transpose pieces that usually are in another key than I have tuned my harp. I have tuned this harp in C minor or E flat major now. And if I have a piece that's in another key, then I just transpose the piece. And you can play any piece you like because you can shift your bass hand into a higher octave and then the range is enough. Okay, sometimes you might have to rearrange some tiny details, but I think it's worth it because this is the price we pay when we have such a tiny instrument that gives us so many possibilities to play wherever we want. Another advantage is this instrument is very soft. So, if you are in a situation where you don't want to disturb anybody, like on a camping site or in a hotel room, then you can play this instrument at any time of the day because it's not louder than you would turn on a radio inside your room, okay? This might be considered to be a disadvantage that it's not loud, but let's see. You can have this harp with a pickup. And then you can adjust, you can attach it to an amplifier, and you can make the sound louder if you want. And you also you can put on effect pedals, like I'm using a lot of reverb pedals, or you also could use an octaver pedal, which gives you the possibility to determine some of the strings to sound in the lower range to sound 1 or even 2 octaves lower. There are pedals like that on the market. This is not the subject of this video, just to let you know there are possibilities if you have the technical device. You need an amplifier, you need the pickup, and I would recommend to buy this harp with a pickup, because to install a pickup later is much more difficult. And then you can make it louder, and you, of course, there will be some, you will hear the noise of the plugging, but if you use a preamp with an equalizer, then you can reduce this noise pretty much. So for me, it's not disturbing at all. Yeah, so I think there are a lot of advantages, and as you know, maybe know, the advantages of a double are that you can play these echo effects, like, yeah, which you cannot do so well on a single course harp. You can do bisbigliando effects like this. Sound carpets. Okay. And you can play with interleaving patterns, which I do a lot, like I'm teaching things like that on my Ko-fi channel, if you want to learn how to do that. Okay, and of course you can play pretty usual melodies, like this is a piece of mine that I have written for a big harp. And so on. Now what you cannot see now in this video is how I hold this harp. This is interesting to learn about. You see, you have this piece of wood here, which is turnable, and it has a screw so that you can fix it. And it's movable as well. So I have tightened the screw quite a lot. So I can put it like this so that it has the same measure as the harp, and then I can shift it around wherever I want to have it. When it's here far in the back side of the harp, then it makes the harp stand alone on the floor. But when I'm playing, I prefer to put it to the front part of the foot, then fix the screw to avoid that it's turning. And then, let me show that. Maybe it's not so easy to see it. Here is my lap, and I put the harp here on my lap, and then I lean myself back a little bit, and then I can put the harp towards my body and can play. Okay, what is important for this is that the legs are straight like this, parallel to the floor, and not like this, because then the harp would go downwards. So what I need is, I'm coming back, I have this fancy table that can lift itself, okay? So what I use when I'm sitting on a chair is a cushion like this, or you could use a little foot bench or something, where I put my feet on to bring my legs parallel to the floor. When you play sitting on the ground, then of course you would put this foot to the back of the harp so that the harp stands in front of you. Or you also could put it on your lap as well. This is something that you have to find out because every human has other dimensions inside the body. Sometimes I think it's a bit unstable because of the light weight. And what I'm planning to do with this harp is I will fix how do you call that? I will fix something so that I can hang the harp around my body. So I will fix one of the buttons here, a strap. I will have a strap, and I will fix one strap lock here on the right side at the foot, and one on the right side here of the knee. And then I will put the strap around here, then here around my body, and then here to the right side of the knee. And this will add some stability to the harp. And you can do that, you can use that strap also when you are playing sitting on a chair or sitting on a cushion on the floor or whatever you use for it to sit on, okay? The sound of this harp, I would say, for a harp of this size, never forget about the size. Don't compare this harp to a bigger harp like the Stony End harps, for instance, or the bigger Marini harps that maybe also have 22 strings on each side, but they are much bigger and more heavy, and they cannot be disassembled. You cannot compare these instruments. You have to look at this instrument for itself. And I would say it's great that all the octaves, the whole range, is more or less sounding in the same quality, which is not too bad, the quality. I mean, it's not a miracle, okay? It's a small harp with a very small body. You have to keep that in mind. It's not a big sound, but it's a beautiful sound, and it's beautiful through, and the same kind of beauty through all the octaves. And this is something that you don't meet very often with small harps, as at least the small harps that I have tried, they didn't offer this quality for me. And keeping in mind that I can also use an amplifier if I want, not when I'm with my canoe, because then I won't take an amplifier, and I don't want to disturb the animals anyway. But if I want, I can lift the sound a bit with the amplifier. Okay. The tuning is done. I put it on my lap like this, and then I have one hand. I have to put down my table again. One hand on the string and the other hand here with the tuning key. Okay. So this is the way how I tune this small harp. Okay. Yeah, and this is basically what you have to know about it. And now you want to know where to get this beautiful harp. I will add a link to Mr. Tremer's website here in the video description, so you can have a look. I think it's in German, but with when you use the translation function of your browser, then you also find the information in English. I don't know about prices for shipping and taxes and so on when it's going out of Germany or even out of Europe, but you can find out yourself. And I think the price is pretty low for this instrument, in my eyes, I would say. I know that it's possible to ship the instrument because I got it shipped by the post. It was a bigger box, but it was not so big. So it's not a problem to ship it through the whole world. Okay, to finish off, I will play a couple of more notes for you, sounds for you, so that you can listen again. And maybe you feel like giving this instrument a try. I have bought it because I will take it with me in the canoe when I don't have enough space for my little Stony and Eve.